Welcome to the Real Retirees of New Jersey, powered by Liberty Financial Group and Artemis Wealth Advisors. Randy and Peggy Fisher want to help you retire once and retire right. Get more information at therealretireesofnewjersey.com. They never throw the first punch, but they're always a knockout.
Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for downloading. But most importantly, thanks for listening. This is the Real Retirees of New Jersey podcast with Peggy and Randy Fisher. It's all powered by Liberty Financial Group and Artemis Wealth Advisors. You can get more when you visit therealretireesofnewjersey.com. You can find that and all the information here in the show notes. My name is Mark Owens. Now, let's get to the show. I want to talk about something that happened recently with the team. You had a great educational seminar and kind of get the pulse of the community. Taxes, Social Security, the Trump administration. What did you find was on the people's mind the most?
I would say a lot of people are looking about taxes. They were wondering about what's going to happen with the new administration. I think they were worried about like their Social Security because there's a lot of noise out there too, you know, on stations saying, "Oh, we're cutting Social Security, we're cutting Medicare." So, you know, people they get scared about. Yeah, they get scared on those things because they're listening to I don't know what stations, but that's their concerns that we're seeing anyway on there.
It's spin. It's just propaganda.
Yeah, I mean,
it's the bottom. It's really what it is. They want these talking points and they want this 3 minutes of limelight. You know, all these senators or congressmen or congresswomen or whoever it is that's standing up and yelling and screaming and bitching and moaning. I mean, the fact of the matter is it's just propaganda. You know, they're yelling and screaming to try to get somebody to think that. They're going to be cutting Medicare. They're going to be cutting Social Security. They're going to be taking money out of kids' mouths and on and on and on. Meanwhile, we just found $267 billion worth of wasted money. And they're standing there trying to yell and scream about why we shouldn't remove that from the budget.
That's right.
Or to try to stop waste, right?
Yeah.
You know, if you have a family budget and you're trying to figure out what you can and cannot spend because you want to try to make your lives better, the first thing you do is you figure out what the hell you're spending money on.
Randy, you do the same thing, though. Like, that's part of your job is to take deep dive into portfolios to find what are you wasting money on. You're like the Elon Musk of financial advisors.
Well, I think a lot of people don't believe that they have some of the costs and charges that are within their portfolio, and we prove it to them with the portfolio X-ray analysis. By the way, that actually is free for anybody who does call in. What's that number, Peg?
Yeah, our number, 908-844-8337. Give us a call and we'll give you an x-ray of your whole entire portfolio. Randy will, go in there and nitpick every little thing. And it's amazing how, our future clients will be like, wow, I didn't realize that this fee was being charged to me. And it's a deep dive, this x-ray that we do for, incoming clients. And once they see that, they're a little shocked.
Well, not only that, you talk about a savings. That's a $2,500 value. And we give it away for free for people who actually attended our workshops and will attend our workshops in the future. But I'm willing to extend that for anybody who's been listening to us over the last number of weeks or so or months on the show. If you got over $250,000 or so saved for retirement or parked away, you're do-it-yourselfer or whatever it may be, give us a call. We'll set up an appointment. You can come on in. We'll do a portfolio x-ray analysis for you. You will have the report to leave with. It's yours. Not going to hold you to the desk. You don't have to do business with us. It is enlightening. And when we get down to the square, nuts and bolts of the damn thing.
The nitty-gritty.
The good, the bad, and the ugly. It comes down to information that's just the facts.
Right.
It's not my opinion. It's not someone else's opinion. It's literally made by an independent party that puts the details together that is 100% dead accurate. That report basically shows you all the risk you're taking, all the fees you have, if you've underperformed or overperformed certain benchmarks, if you're over allocated, if your accounts are what they call correlated to each other, if there's overlap. The report is so in detail. It is tremendous information.
Yeah, and most people sometimes can't even believe it. Like they'll say, well, the advisor that I had said I wasn't risky.
Oh, yeah, right.
And
I'm a conservative investor.
I'm a conservative investor. I'm not risky. And they're like 85% is in some kind of the riskiest thing that you could possibly be in.
And quite frankly, it's not a right or a wrong thing, right? Yeah. I mean, most people come in like, oh my God, I'm in the wrong thing. Well, you're in the wrong thing because your risk tolerance or your personality doesn't match what you have, right? It would be like saying, I'm going to go to the car dealership. I got 6 Rugrats with me and I got to keep them safe, but I'm looking at a 2-seat vehicle.
Well, you should be looking at the minivan.
The 2-seat vehicle is beautiful, right? It works. It's the best thing since sliced bread to somebody, but it ain't going to work if I want to jam my wife or husband in there with 6 Rugrats.
Yeah.
It ain't going to work.
Yeah.
Right? Like Peggy said, I'm going to need a transport vehicle, right? I'm going to need a Suburban, a minivan, or something like that. Now, to the person who's single and, wants to go mingle, you ain't riding around in a souped up minivan, right? You're going to want some nice, beautiful sport car or whatever it may be. So it just comes down to the tool is not the bad item. It's how you use it and what it's actually intended for.
That number is 908-844-8337. We invite you to call this weekend. Again, if you've saved at least $250,000 or more for your retirement, that can be spread across a 401k, an IRA. You're lucky to have a pension, a savings account. Peggy Fisher, Randy Fisher, they want to sit down with you and offer you this portfolio x-ray at no cost or no obligation. It's a $2,500 value, but this weekend, exclusively for our radio audience, when you call now, it's no cost. 908-844-8337. We have a representative standing by right now to talk to you. There was an interesting article in Money Talks News that says some of the dumb money mistakes that we make after the age of 50. One of those was not hiring a financial advisor. What do you say to the people who do the DIY method, if you will? How much damage can that cause to a plan?
We just had a client in yesterday, and that's exactly what he said. Well, I read on Google. Randy goes, stop reading. And that's exactly what he said. That was his words. Well, I
read Elvis's a lot.
Yeah, I read. And listen, you reading out there, it's just like, well, I read how to fix my teeth. I'm not a dentist, but I read that I can extract my tooth with taking a string and ripping it out of my mouth. Okay. Is that the best thing that I could do? Or should I go to the dentist, which would make much more sense because he knows what he's doing?
Mark, you see how she cleaned that up?
Yeah, she did nice.
You know where I would have went, right? I would have went right to proctology exam.
Yes.
It is true. I mean, listen, the information that's out there, some of it's good. There's no doubt about it. But we're on information overload, right?
Right.
Yep.
I mean, no matter where you go, you can get an opinion from somebody and it can match what you're looking for. And that's called a bias. So what you do is you're basically looking for information that matches what you're trying to accomplish or what your belief system is. And then once you get that, you basically put your feet in the ground and you really don't budge off of that. And that actually skews rationality.
Yeah, it sure does.
Right?
And not only that, too, but we always talk about being emotional with your money, right? So that's always like it's a big thing with people. Like we say that as well. Oh my God, I love Apple, so I'm gonna keep Apple because Apple just happens to be
because I have Apple Watch.
Yeah, because I have an Apple Watch.
Phone.
That's my favorite thing. So I'm gonna keep it, even though it could go up or it could go down. I was just told that I'm gonna keep that. Or
right.
Boeing. We had a client who loved Boeing, right? Mm-hmm. And Boeing was starting to sink. Randy kept telling him,
how many more planes can they crash?
Yeah, Randy kept saying you might want to get out
or get astronauts stuck.
I love Boeing. People are emotional with the things that they think are going to be best for them, when we can be non-emotional about their money and help them, definitely help them down the road.
Or how about fees? Yeah. I don't have any fees in my portfolio.
Oh, yeah.
I love that one.
That's the best.
And they're like in mutual funds. And I say, okay, what's the first thing that we look for in a mutual fund? Number one is the management fees. Right? So the second thing we look for is something called 12B1 fees. And they start to look at you like you have a green head. Then you start to look at redemption fees and sales loads.
And they're like, what's
front-end
that?
loads, back-end loads.
You didn't read about that
one?
You
didn't see those?
You didn't read about that?
But wait, there's even more. There's other things that are actually hidden costs within the portfolio that people, if you are not a professional and you haven't been doing it forever, you're not going to find them, right? So there are other fees and costs and charges that are embedded within there that unless you know where to look within the prospectus, or you have computer programs and modules that can actually just quickly pull it out for you, you start to learn where those things are.
Right.
Turnover fees and ratios, tax, commission costs with block trades, and on and on and on that actually comes into play. I mean, the list is literally, it's pretty inclusive. And if you don't know where to look, it's like that whole adage, you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
What you don't know does hurt you, correct? I mean, if I don't know about electricity and I stick my finger in a socket, when I'm a little kid, it's going to hurt, right? So it's one of those things. Fees destroy your yield over time.
Right.
The more you can keep, the better it is, right? So it's not what you earn, it's how much you keep of what you earn is the most important, right? It's like that whole thing that we talk about, income is the outcome that matters most.
Yep.
The thing that matters most about returns is what you keep versus what you make. And that comes down to, let's just say, turnover. If I constantly have a portfolio that's turning over and over and over and over and it's taxable, well, guess what? Uncle Sam's kind of making a little bit of money on me. Not a little bit, a lot of money on the gains in which you're making. So you're taking 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. To cut down on that, you look for portfolios that do not have turnover ratio. And if you don't know what turnover ratio is, ladies and gentlemen, give us a call. We will teach you.
Yeah, 908-844-8337. But going back to what you were saying, Mark, about, getting maybe a second opinion for someone who is like a do-it-yourself investor, right? We have expert eyes on this kind of stuff. And it was funny because when I was researching some of this, Vanguard did a study that found, do you know the average do-it-yourself investor, if they had $500,000 over a 25-year period, that could grow to only $1.7 million. That's the do-it-yourselfer. They showed that if you work with an advisor, you took that same $500,000, you get $3.4 million over the Senate. Yeah, that's big, right? Over the same 25-year period.
Imagine if that was a cancer survival rate.
Yeah, but I mean,
it's like saying I'm going to treat myself, or I'm going to go to a great oncologist.
Yeah, it's just about getting that second opinion of expert eyes. And there it is, expert. This is what we do. This is what we do every day. We're not reading something on Google or reading something online that says, okay, this is how I should invest. Okay, this is the insurance I should get. Okay.
908-844-8337. Again, 908-844-8337 to reach out to the team at Liberty Financial Group and Artemis Wealth Advisors. That's Peggy Fisher. That's Randy Fisher. And they want to offer that portfolio x-ray this weekend exclusively to our radio audience. If you've saved at least $250,000 or more for your retirement, it's a $2,500 value. And this weekend, it's no cost, no obligation. Again, 908-844-8337. So you're talking about the power of income. Shark Tank investor Kevin O'Leary said you need at least $5 million to retire. But he's backtracking. Now he says, well, with careful investing, you could actually retire on $500,000. All right, look, I'm not a mathematician.
You really want to know? You want to know the reason why?
Why?
Because Trump just got elected.
How?
I was waiting to see what you were going to say. I'm only kidding.
Okay, go on.
No, it was actually a joke. I mean, he's been all over the airways lately, right? So since Trump's been elected. So before Trump got elected, you needed $5 million. Now you don't need it. Now you need $500,000.
Now you only need $500.
It's just crazy. It's stupid. I mean, think about that. What is the error rate on that? So you went from $5 million to $500,000, right? Get the hell out of here. That's like saying, I'm going to jump out of an airplane and I may die, or now I'm just going to bounce twice. Well, get out of here.
Either way, it's a hell of a ride down.
It sure is, right? But they say less than half of Americans say that could even happen. And they're saying today that what you need at least is $1.3 million to retire comfortably.
Yeah, I think he changed his tune because when he started to talk about 5 millions, I don't think anybody started to read the articles because you think about a fraction of the individuals that actually have $5 million that are out there.
Yeah.
It is infinitesimal. When you actually read, real reports about most Americans are about a tic-tac away from an emergency.
Exactly.
And they can't afford next month's rent, gas prices, or bread on their table because they have zero savings rate.
And if you did it with that $500,000, that's talking about over time, your annual income would only be about $22,500. Let's say you just had a medical emergency. Yeah. That blows. That just your whole annual income's done in one swoop.
$22,500. That's 4.5% of $500,000.
And not only just with that. So they were saying, I want you guys to guess. What do you think the cheapest state to retire in is?
Confusion.
Cheapest state.
I'm going to say like Mississippi because it's...
Oh, my God. Ding, ding, ding.
Is
you
that
think you had Marco in.
Tupelo.
But how about for this? Even in the cheapest state, $55,074 is what you would need annually.
Ladies and gentlemen,
at least
you can retire for $30,000 in Portugal.
Yeah, it's true.
You can go to Valencia, Spain for $27,000 a year.
I'm ready to go. Right,
I'm out of here.
Now, Mark, going back to that too, what do you think the most expensive state is?
Oh, it's got to be something like Vermont or Maine or New York or
Hawaii. You know what you need there for an annual income?
A lot.
$121,000 a year.
That's why people just visit.
Yeah. Is that crazy? Yeah. So going back to your original thing is like, $500,000 over time. I don't know if that's going to happen. I'm not really sure that's going to happen. Unless you're if you're frugal.
I mean, listen.
If you're the frugalist, yeah.
We've seen people walk through our door. We look at each other while we're amazed on how much they've accumulated throughout their lifetime.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, they must have squirreled every nickel away.
But they are the squirrelers and they are the savers. And they are the ones that aren't going out to eat every day. And they are the ones who are not going on trips.
No, I think
they are the ones who...
They're washing their tuna cans.
They are, or they're in their same house. They haven't,
there's a fine line between enjoying yourself and do whatever you have to do, being frugal, being, ridiculously prudent. I don't care which way you look at it. I mean, everybody has a different way, right?
Well,
instead of being a spendthrift.
Yeah.
I mean, there's people that actually spend their money before they even make it, right? That are out there. So there are those as well.
Well, we always say it depends on your lifestyle and how you invest your funds, right? I mean, those are the two big things. I mean, lifestyle, somebody who, doesn't spend any money, doesn't like to go out and do things, and they save away and they become very frugal, which is good.
What's harder, though? Working with the couple that refuses to spend $1 or the couple that spends $2 when they only have $1?
That's a good one.
You ain't working with the guy that's spending two and has one and spends two because they don't have anything. We kind of work with everybody, to be quite frank with you. It's just a matter of where we fit in their little niche and where we can help them. With the DIY person, we understand that they want to do the control. They want to do the decision making. Yep. They want all of that in their hands. We're basically a sounding board for that type of person, that type of an investor. Over time, what eventually happens with DIYers is they get fed up with what they're doing and they want to do something else and enjoy their lifestyle because they don't want to sit in front of a computer for 7 hours a day or be shackled to financial information that they need at their fingertips in order to make decisions.
It's just a matter when they want to give up control.
That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
When do they give over?
We have had those clients, right, who come in and just hand over the statement thing and goes, okay, we're done.
Your steering wheel's yours.
I'm done.
My wife told me I need to leave the house at least twice a day now.
Well, or they just don't want to worry about it anymore.
True.
They just don't want to worry about it
anymore. And then we have other people that literally, they're very good at what they did or what they do, and they want nothing to do with finances.
Right.
And they say, listen, it's the same as if I went to a auto mechanic or a doctor or a dentist. I don't do any of that stuff. I do this, you do that. And they basically say, I want to be at that location in 6 years or 5 years or 10 years.
How do I do
it? Make it happen.
Make it happen, Randy.
And that's really what it comes down to. And those people also, they want, I guess this is the wrong word, it's scapegoat, but they want someone else responsible for what's going to happen.
And that's what we're here for.
So if it does happen and it's good, they can also still take credit for it. But if it happens and it's bad, they have somebody to blame. And we don't want to always be the blame person, but the fact of the matter is, if we're actually taking the controls, we take it personally. I mean, we want to make sure that we're making their goals, their dreams, their retirement, their golden years happen.
Right.
So, I mean, we do everything we possibly can to do those things and make them happen while educating them upon the process, while communicating with them continually. And that's one of the reasons why people really miss the boat in this industry. Most people don't leave an advisor or a place because of the lack of result.
No, communication, 100%. We hear it almost every time.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, we do.
908-844-8337. When you call one of those big box firms, you're just a number. They may shuffle you off to a sub-advisor you've never heard of. You feel like you're talking to somebody new every other week. But most importantly, they don't know who you are. They don't know about your kids. They don't know if you're sick. All they do is see you as a bottom line.
Or even that, we're seeing the other opposite of, oh, you know what? I've been with, John Smith for the last 10 years, but you know what? I don't know. Maybe I should move. He only calls me once a year to talk, and that's not us. So we talk to our clients constantly. We're on a constant, phone call, email, text. I mean, we always say they have our cell phone number. So 24 hours a day,
they use it.
They do use it. We're here.
Whether you want them to or not sometimes. Didn't you say that somebody called you at like midnight or 1 a.m.? And
it happens all the time. I mean, people on vacation all the time. I mean, I went from a seat with a pina colada to the ocean and back and forth, and I had 3 conversations with clients a month ago, right?
Yeah,
so
it's true.
It's true. It's 100% true. We're not going to abandon somebody because we're on vacation or we're someplace else or it's the weekend. And again, we're not going to instantaneously just call you back or be at a whim and call. Yeah. But I mean, if we're available, we're taking your call. If we're, in the middle of doing something, we'll get back to you as soon as we possibly can, as soon as we get your message.
Absolutely.
Right. 908-844-8337. Your job right now is to pick up the phone and make the first phone call to Artemis Wealth Advisors and Liberty Financial Group. And again, this weekend, we know you got a lot going on. We just need a couple of quick pieces of information, like a name, a phone number, an email address. But the most important question they're going to ask is, when is it convenient for your schedule to sit down with Peggy, Randy, and the team to take advantage of that portfolio x-ray? 908-844-8337. Got a couple of minutes left here this weekend. Who are we talking to? Are we talking to because we were talking about mistakes that adults over the age 50 make. We're talking about people that have $5 million to $500,000. Who should be picking up the phone to call you right now?
Everybody and anybody.
No, she was gonna say that.
No.
Actually, I was waiting for a different response from her because I was going to say that. No, I'm not going to say that.
No, because we always do say that too. Like we hear from, it was funny because at our last workshop, they're like, oh, I don't have $1 million, so you're not going to take me, right? And first thing we say is, no, we are not that firm that states, oh, you have to have $1 million in order for us to talk to you. We will talk to...
If you have it, it makes it easier to work with because you can do a lot of more things. But if you have $200,000, it's more important than having $1 million because that $200,000, it's your savings. It's your nest egg,
and
right?
we treat that same $250,000 person with the $1 million person same. That's your money. That's what you've saved your whole entire life for. That's what you need for the future. And we want to make sure that you have that for the future.
I think the best answer is who are we looking for, or who do you think we can help? The people who want to be helped.
Yes.
Those are the best people that actually walk through our door, that actually get something out of the meetings in which we have, because we're able to make an impact. Someone walks through the door and they don't want help. First of all, they shouldn't have walked through the door in the beginning. Yeah. But sometimes they do walk through the door reluctantly, thinking that, oh, I can't believe I'm here. And they still put up a barrier, a wall, a defense, because they either think that they're being sold something. And we're not salespeople. We're advisors. We're here to basically advise you, educate you, and then you make the decision as to how you're going to now formulate a plan for your future. Is it going to be walk out the door and do nothing different? Well, you're probably always going to get what you've always gotten. If you want to make a decision to make a difference, sometimes you need to take the information that you just received and put it into play. How does that work to your advantage? What is doing differently that you didn't do before going to change moving forward? Mm-hmm. Those are the people that we can impact, and those are the people that our practice helps all day long. I think they get the most out of our practice. It's the person that wants help.
Yes.
Legitimately.
Absolutely. Or I was going to say, if you're crazy, we're here for you.
Crazy matches crazy.
The crazy.
You can go see Peggy for that.
No, we do. Randy's absolutely right with that. It is the people who we want to help. When we have these workshops and things like that, those are the people who we want to help. You've come to this workshop. You obviously have a lot of questions. You have a lot of concerns. Again, it's your money. We want to help your money make sense, as we always say here.
Here's an interesting one. We just acquired a client. We first I didn't realize this. They told us this.
Oh, yeah, yesterday. Yep.
They just told us that they met us 10 years ago.
Wow. At a workshop.
2013 that they met us.
That is correct.
They've been listening to us on the radio. They've been listening to the podcast. They've been following with friends and family members that have been doing business with us. They were invited back to another workshop, and now they're clients.
And not only that, but she didn't realize, Mark, this is crazy too. She, I think, knew somebody through Randy and was like, wait, Randy, I think I know somebody who knows you. And it's a very small world out there, awesome. And guess who came into our office and who I think are going to be our clients very shortly.
So, pretty good.
Yeah.
We are an independent financial services firm helping individuals create retirement strategies using a variety of financial and insurance products to custom suit their needs and objectives. Investment advisor services offered through Artemis Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Exposure to ideas and financial vehicles discussed should not be considered investment advice or recommendation to buy or sell any financial vehicle. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Investments can fluctuate and when redeemed may be worth more or less than when originally invested. Artemis Wealth Advisors is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency and does not provide legal or tax advice. Please consult with your attorney, accountant, and or tax advisor for advice concerning your particular circumstances. Annuity guarantees rely solely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance and annuity products offered through Randolph A. Fisher, insurance license number 9616074, and Liberty Financial Group, LLC, and Peggy Fisher, national license number 189-42003 and 570-5833.